Welcome to Rick's Corner. There's a couple of subjects I wanted to talk about. It's a cold, rainy day here in Los Angeles for a change. And one of them is injuries, working through injuries, and one of them is working with age. Let's start with injuries first, because cold weather increases your pain because it freezes down, your joints get tight, you get sore, and you get up in the morning and say, damn, I don't even want to go to the gym, I hurt so bad. Now I hear this from guys anywhere from their 20s to my age. What do you do for it? How do you work out when your shoulders are killing, your knees are killing, your back hurts? This is part of what we do. We work out hard and our joints take a beating. I just had lunch with my daughter. She's 23. She says her knees pop and her shoulders pop. She was a gymnast, not anymore, but it does take its toll. On days like this, when it gets cold like this, you've got to really warm up good. We all know that. But I don't like to take pills. I do have a pain reliever called diclofenac, which is Voltaren. It's used for arthritis and joint pain. And I'll take one in the morning before I train. It usually lasts me all day. It cuts down about a good 75% of the pain. Now, it's not addicting and it's not dangerous, but it does alleviate the pain. I have a lot of injuries from wrestling and bodybuilding both. My shoulders compressed on the left one. Now my right one's bothering me. It's making my hand go numb because there's a pinched nerve back there. But it doesn't stop me from training. I feel when I train, even with the injuries, I get blood flow and everything opens up and starts to respond. If you sit home and do nothing, it tightens up and nothing works. It's just the way it is. We have a lot of friends, all of us, that don't go to the gyms and they sit home and they complain how they hurt all over and they just can't get motivated to go. However, getting off the couch and going does make you feel better. All right, the shoulder pain, which you have to watch out for when you're younger, like I was, and is doing the heavy presses. Now, heavy presses really tear down the joints. We used to do the heavy dumbbells, we did the heavy standing presses, and they really tear down. I was told by a couple of experts years ago, don't do presses, just do lateral raises. Rich Piana told me that, Ken Waller told me that, but we have it in our blood where we just want to press. It's just what we do. I see people in the gym doing behind the neck presses. Now, they even have benches made for behind the neck presses. Steve Merjanian, one of the strongest guys at Gold's in the 70s and 60s and 70s, would press behind the neck 315 pounds, 335 pounds even, behind the neck presses. But that just throws your shoulders way off. When you're reaching back to grab that bar, you're really out of sync with your way your body moves, and it's put stress on the joint and eventually will tear it up. Now the other thing is that people think, now listen to this and try this. Behind the neck presses do not work the rear delt. They work the front delt. They work the top. If you put your arm back and you're pressing, you'll see the front delt is working. It does nothing for the rear. The only thing that works on the rear delt is bent over laterals or reverse pec deck. That gets the rear delt. Nothing to do with pressing at all. So strike that out of your workout. You don't even need it, and it will hurt your shoulders. Joint pain is just something. I use ice at night to take down inflammation. I use heat to warm it up. I've tried the Voltaren cream. It's a gel, which is anti-inflammatory and pain medication. Seems to help a little bit. Bengay. But if it's really hurting, I had a friend in the gym, he said he can't even raise his arm. His shoulder hurts so bad. He went and he got a cortisone shot. It was good for about a week and a half, and then it kind of wore off, and he's back to the pain again. You have to find out what the root of the pain is. If it's a rotator, if you've got arthritis in the joint, that's one thing. If you have a strained tendon or muscle, that will heal, but you got to give it rest to heal. Now, if you give it too much rest and you go back and you pull it again, that's a problem too. So I would just say work it lightly. Do your laterals, do something light to keep the blood flow in there. Don't kill it. Let it come back on its own. Shoulders are a big problem like that. Lower back for a lot of people is an issue. Most people have lower back problems are those who sit in chairs all day long and don't get up. However, if you do deadlifts, you can very easily pull your back out. Very easily pull that L5 out and then you're tweaked. That's a dangerous thing to do. So even there I wouldn't go heavy. I'd do a light movement on the lower back to strengthen your erector muscles, because when you work your abs and you're doing sit-ups and that, you're working the front of your body. The back of your body is going to take a beating too. You want to balance that out. So you work the erectors in back and their abs in front. You get a balance of those muscles that don't bend you over or don't pull you off center. These are things that you can correct in the gym. Knees are an issue. If you play football, if you wrestle, if you ran track, or if you're a heavy squatter, eventually those knee joints are going to go. I see so many people, even older women, 78 years old, getting knee replacements now, and a lot of them just sat in chairs. So I don't know, that they just wear out from walking. Lay out the squats. It's going to kill you. I mean, they're really hard to do if you had bad knees. Now, they're great for developing the thigh. There's no question about that. You can move to a Smith machine or do a sissy squat and take the pain off, the pressure off the knee. Of course, extensions and hamstrings, all that you do anyway. So those are ways around some of those injuries. A lot of people get elbow problems. They used to call it tennis elbow, where the tendon swells up and you get a knot of water back there and you can't even do any triceps because it hurts so bad. I had this problem. My elbows look like Popeye. I'd have them drained. And I got a series of cortisone shots in them. And one day I'm doing decline triceps in the gym with the 65s and I hear a snap. My tricep banged and it just went like that and snapped off my arm and shot all the way up my back of my arm. Arm went completely dead, turned black. Go to the hospital and they said, well, you've got a strain. I look at the x-ray a week later and I see a bone chip up there where the tricep literally came off with the bone chip and it's sitting up my arm. By that time it was too late to reattach it. So I never did. Now my arm has a weird shape. It's got a flat spot where the tricep is. But I got back into training right away, 5 pounds down his cable, pushing 10 pounds, then 20, redeveloped the tricep around itself so I get my strength back. So elbows can be a problem. Take care of them. Ice them and make sure you don't strain them because it's a tendon that will rip. Most of that are the injuries that you'll probably notice more than anything. Neck can be an issue. I put a neck exercise up one time on the show and everybody laughed at me for working my neck. However, you got to work your neck. Rich was even talking about you don't want a skinny neck, you want a strong neck. And the neck supports your whole body and your head, everything. I mean, you got to have it. So if you work it, it also alleviates headaches. So front to back, side to side, work your neck. Now age. I've had many people come up to me the past month. I don't know what it is about this month of Christmas or whatever, and tell me how old they're getting. They're going to turn 42. They're going to turn 48. One guy's going to turn 50. Oh, I feel so old. I can't even move anymore. My body's killing me. And I say, I'll trade you any day. You know, I just turned 70 and I have it too, but I still feel pretty good. So if you do feel like you're getting old, you're really not. And I heard on the news this morning, it's just a number. Numbers mean nothing. It's how you look at life. If you look at life and you're having fun and you feel pretty good, you're going to live a long life. So whatever's making you feel old, if it has to be the injuries or whatever that, do something for them so you don't feel so old. Get your rest. Make sure you get your nutrition, which is key. And you should feel better. Now the other thing I wanted to touch on was rest, because we all have a tendency to overtrain. I've talked about overtraining before, and I've been training like 5, 6 days, 7 days a week. I'll go in, I'll take 2 days, I'll do cardio, I'll do weights. And the past month I thought, I'm going to try something different. And you guys know this. When you take off, you always feel like you're losing everything. Oh, I didn't work out today. My arms went down. They really don't. And I really fought this for the past 2, 3 weeks. I'd go in one day, I'd work chest and back. I'd take a day off, I'd go and do the bike. Next day I go and I do legs, take a day off, go back and do shoulders, take a day off, go back and do arms. I tried it for the past 2 weeks and I gained about 8 pounds. And hard weight, because I got the rest for the body to recover itself. And it's so easy not to. It's so easy to overtrain. I know some of you guys wrote in, it's impossible to overtrain. No, it's not. You can train a muscle, and kill it just by not letting it recover. Think about that. You take 2 or 3 days off, you go back to the gym, you say, boy, I feel strong today. I took a couple of days off, because your body's recovered. You have to recover. Otherwise, you're just beating yourself down and you don't make any gains. So I've said this about injuries. I said this about aging. There's no reason to let yourself get old and age. There's no reason. You're going to have years pile up, sure. But you can always look your best. You can always eat right. You keep a good attitude. Laugh at life. Don't take things too serious. Don't stress yourself out. And you'll be much better off for doing it. Now we're coming to the end of the year. I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 more shows, and then the last week of Christmas I'm just going to take off. But in the new year, everybody starts resolutions. When you go to the gym, it's full of people. They're all going to fire up and work out every day. And you look around and say, I can't even get to the machines. There's too many people in here, right? Well, they won't last long. I wish they would, but you know they're not going to. So with you, what you got to do is set a goal in your head. Take each day at a time. Work your body parts. Eat your meals correctly. Get your days of rest. Next day, get up, do the same thing again. And plan for that year to be the best you that you can be. Just putting into it what I just told you, and you will be the best you that you can be. If you have any questions on this show, do you want suggestions, you want to fire us something about talking about what you want to hear about, send away and we'll do it. Now you've asked me, get Tom Platz, get Franco, get Arnold, get these guys, and I answer all of you individually. Trust me, I try to do this. Arnold is too busy running around doing whatever he's doing with his films. Franco, you can't pin him down. Platz, I've asked 3 times, and he says, no, I don't want to do it unless I get paid. And I don't have the money to pay him to do a show. I do this for free. I'm certainly not going to pay him. So when you get people like that that don't want to contribute back to the sport, I'm not going to beg them. They can either do it or they don't do it. So when you ask me to get them, believe me, I've tried. I've reached out to all these people. And there's a lot of people also that I can't get that don't live locally. I'm in Los Angeles. All right, if they're in New York or they're somewhere else, if they come out here for a week or so, I'll get them over here. But I'm not going to fly out to them, and they're not going to fly out to me. So just keep that in mind when you ask for certain people. You just can't get them. You just can't do it. This is the way it is. But thank you for watching Rick's Corner. I hope you guys have a great new year. You train hard and get in good shape. Send us some suggestions of what you would like to see, and I'll work with you on that. Stay tuned for more Rick's Corner. We're going to go a big year in 2015. We're almost 14 million viewers now. Thanks again for watching.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.